The economic reforms introduced in India in 1991 resulted in positive outcomes and emergence of challenging situations. This video is about those positive as well as the challenges that emerged between 1991 and 2018 in Indian economy. Starting with the GDP, more often the growth of the economy is expressed in terms of gross domestic product. It is used as an index to showcase the level of development. After 1991, India had a rapid growth in gross domestic product continually for 2 decades, that is, for almost 20 years. The percentage growth rose to 8.2% around 2007 and 2012. When we look at the overview of the different occupational sectors of the economy, the growth of agriculture sector declined. Industrial sector growth was fluctuating and service sector was actually blooming. It was doing well. Looking at a little more details, agriculture sector recorded high growth during 2013 and 14. Later, there had been a negative growth. Industrial sector witnessed steep decline during 2012 and 13, but later it showed continuous positive growth. Service sector had highest growth rate with 9.8% growth percentage. Moving on with the foreign investment. It could be either in the form of foreign direct investment as well as in the form of foreign institutional investment. The investment made by a foreign company in our country's companies is foreign direct investment, and foreign institutional investment is the investment made in the financial market of our country, mostly by large companies of other countries. Foreign direct investment and foreign exchange reserves increased to 30 billion in 2017-18. In terms of exports, we were successful in terms of auto parts, engineering goods, IT software, and textiles. After the reforms, there had been few challenges that needed attention. Employment opportunities. Growth in GDP is expected to generate employment, as more GDP indicates production of more goods and services. It could be expected that it needs more hiring. But scholars pointed out that the growth that was witnessed after 1991 reforms till the next 3 decades was actually a growth in which there was less generation of employment opportunities. Agriculture sector witnessed a lot of changes. Public investment, that is, the investment in irrigation, power, roads, market linkages, and research and extension, which help agriculture to grow to a great extent, was reduced. Partial removal of fertilizer subsidy increased the cost of production. Reduction in import duties, quantitative restrictions on agricultural products led to increase in international competition. There was a shift from production for the domestic market towards production for the export market. Industry sector also witnessed a decline as demand for industrial products reduced as a result of cheaper imports, as well as there wasn't adequate investment in infrastructure which would help boost the industrial sector. Though our economy allowed free trade, reduced quantitative restrictions, custom duties, etc., few countries didn't remove their trade restrictions. We still had to pay tariffs and face quantitative restrictions when we set out to sell our products in other countries. Selling equity of public sector enterprises to the public in order to privatize is disinvestment. Because of disinvestment, it was found that the government incurred loss. Amount raised was used more to offset shortage. It could be told that it was more or less used to manage and survive than using it for the development of public sector enterprises and building social infrastructure in the country. In terms of fiscal policies, the amendments that were made hardly helped the government to fetch revenue. Tax reduction was the major change which was initiated, thinking that it will create larger revenue by curbing tax evasion, but it didn't yield that sort of result, and there was no increase in tax revenue. Custom duties were reduced. As a result, revenue from that source was also cut. The tax incentives provided to encourage foreign direct investment also reduced the revenue source. This impacted the funding needed for the purpose of development and welfare purposes. Expenditure on development and welfare had a negative impact.